Welcome to the Student Champs Open Cups Women in Esports Grand Finals for Overwatch. I'm Waxin, joined by the Overwatch extraordinaire Puppy, bringing you all of the best of 7 action from today's Grand Finals.
Yeah, what a wonderful game it's going to be as well. These two teams have matched up 3 times in the past split. So majority of the times, well, I say majority, all of the times actually. This is the 3rd time they would have met up, to be fair. The first 2 times it was a 3-0 to, I believe, Sirens. 3-1 to the Sirens, and then a 3-0. So it's all on the guys to actually put this one through on them, and I think it's going to be a bit of a difficult one looking at their standings as well.
Yes, and we gotta introduce the actual teams, Puppy, because we've got Sirens.exe versus York College Grand Finalists, and obviously the Exeter team Sirens.exe are the ones that have come out on top for those 2 encounters they have had thus far. But I do believe that York College have had plenty of time to study their opponents and maybe put in on a bit of a resistance in this Grand Finals.
Yeah, definitely, and I think going by their record in the past split, it's been very, very positive for the side of York College, who have not really dropped many games at all. You're looking at 2 games in total that the team has actually dropped. Once against the NCP Pirates, which they narrowly missed out on the start of the year. And obviously then the Sirens as well, twice before as well. So if there's a decent team out there that to be able to sort of put one over on the Sirens, then it's definitely this York team, I feel.
Yes, very, very interesting. And we've had best of 5s between these 2 teams before, but never a best of 7. So who knows? Maybe you can lose 3 maps.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that
this time. Maybe that's the plan.
I think I got a little bit of lag. Apologies if I talk over there a little bit, Waxen. But yeah, the map 6 and map 7 are going to be control and flashpoint. So we are going to see those 2 types of map twice during this game, which is going to be very, very interesting, as we didn't really see too much of flashpoint this season because we haven't really watched too much Overwatch. So here we go. We're straight into map 1, and it is going to be Sirens. Very interesting composition. Actually, it's pretty much almost mirrored throughout the teams there. I think we may see a little bit of difference between the 2 heading into this first map.
Do you think this is because, like I mentioned, the teams have had plenty of time to study each other? That's why we're looking at almost mirror compositions?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the comfort pick's always going to be the kind of go-to for a majority of these teams. As we've seen in the past, it makes it so much easier for them to be able to do plenty of work. And the Lucio's pushed straight in there. Jaeger's going to get punished by those turrets down the top there. That's going to probably force York College to retreat, although they did just take out Miss Gertha, the opposing Lucio, who now makes it 4v4. It's no longer a 5v5 game, but come on. That beam's going to be slowly coming up for a Minx there, as we do see Blizz taking plenty of space now that shield's gone down from Snipsy. They are trading backwards and forth at the moment, but it looks like it's going to be Sirens taking the first point unless York can do anything about it, as we do see Lilith pumping plenty of damage in with that Junkrat. And pushing in.
Contesting, don't want to give it up just yet, but I think the Sirens are taking the advantage, and Minx is putting in the work, just decimating through the York College Vikings player thus far, and just pushing them away and chasing after them right here, Puppy.
Oh yeah, but is going to fall foul to that flashbang there from Prill, as we do see York College now going back to retreat. They do know when to push, they do know when to retreat here, Sirens EXE, and that seems to be the biggest difference at the moment. York College may be staying a little bit too long during that fight and getting punished for it, as they are now facing a 43% for the side of Sirens. Plenty of ultimates coming up for both teams, so we could see a very, very interesting next fight, as we do seeing one of these ultimates come out from Dot But unfortunately is going to be taken out very nicely, sniped down there by Prill. Forces out the immortality fields from Jaegers. They're not going to have that one pushing forward. York College are going to have to try and do that without. And now without Jaeger and Prill as well, it looks like it's probably going to be a nice reset there for York College if they do respect them, which they didn't last time.
Minx and Distoria, though, putting in the work so far on this beginning of the Grand Finals. Kills all around for the two Sirens on the side of Exeter. And York College, I mean, they really got to wake up and start playing if they want to have a chance of getting this point, as we're looking now almost 90%. And we're going to be one more attempt from York College to stop this. And the trap is not going to really... Well, yeah, they're in big trouble right now.
Yeah, 96, 97%. The Shatter is going to take down one, but the Immortality Field is there. It's going to get taken out. Junkrat Tire picks up Minx. They are going to be looking like they're going to take a fair few out here at York College, but they had to expend plenty of ultimates to do so. And Sirens are going to be happy with that as they retreat back to their spawn with 3 ultimates, with a fourth one kind of very, very soon out of Dot as well, who has been very, very good with those Junkrat Tires so far.
This could be the very end if the Sirens can get the hold back of the point. The Vikings are trying to, get back the percentage. We're looking at 20 right now, but they're coming in hot, and we'll see, trading some damage. The shield is going to do enough. Trail gets the first one. Distoria taking out the server. For now, we'll respawn quickly.
Yeah, it's a Grav Surge is going to come through as well. Ashnima is going to fall foul to that one, unable to put that one out. And it looks like it's going to be a fairly clean take back for the side of Sirens and potentially the first round going to them.
Yeah, 100% going in their favor. The Sirens are playing it flawlessly, winning the first 2 skirmishes, and then running a bit out of utility for the third one, but that's just a casual reset. The Vikings managed to keep the point for 40%, but we kind of knew which way it was going after the initial trades. So yeah, first point going in favor of the Sirens. And do you think we're going to see many comp changes going into the second point, Puppy?
Yeah, definitely think so. I think you've already seen it from York College, and that second to last fight, some really good plays coming out from Lilith with that change over to the May. The May wall is going to be pinnacle to try and segregate off that Sirens front line from the back line. They do have plenty of damage to pump into it to break it down now that they've changed over to a Bastion from Sirens, which means it's going to be very, very difficult for York College to be able to get much value out of it, especially since Sirens are already TPing onto point, setting up those turrets onto the high ground. It's going to be very, very difficult without the use of the shield anymore. Snipsy's going to have to do plenty of work. Prill, though, is going to provide them with an opening, taking down Miss Gerther on that Lucio, and also taking out the Immortality Field as well. But you've got to respect this Bastion. And unfortunately, the story is going to be able to take it out Prill on the way back out, and it looks like it's going to go into the favour of Sirens again. That early point is going to be so much work for them, honestly.
Yeah, maybe not respecting the Bastion was the correct call. You don't want to give them too much space, so punishing it quite early on. And now, again, Sirens in cruise control after this first skirmish, despite what seemed to be rather promising from the Vikings, as we now have yet another engagement through the double gates. Let's see who is going to come out on top of this trade, but the Vikings can't even make their way in. Now, Jaeger's made it one, but he's isolated in the corner, but somehow managed to get away. Good cover, good cover. Jaeger's back to full HP.
Yeah, utilising that mega pack on the left-hand side as she went through, it's meant that able to stay alive and create a little bit of space. And Sirens are going to respect it for now and try and take the skirmish out towards the outside. Be careful, Miss Gertha's going to be looking for these boops in any position. And nice grenade goes through to take out the Immortality Field of Jaeger. They are going to try and push through now with this shield up from Minx. Make the best of it as Snipsy is very, very low, able to stay just about alive. They are weather the storm there, but Distoria, a nice double tap onto the head of Ashnima as they just used that coalescence. That's going to spell absolute disaster here for York College. It's going to reset. Down to one fight only, Waxon.
This is This is exactly what happened in the first point. Let's be completely honest. Sirens were just getting a flawless victory. But can the York College Vikings replicate what they did and maybe take advantage of There's no advantage, actually. There's 4 ultimates, 2 for both sides, for each side. So this is going to be very, very hard. 93%. You got to go, and you got to go now. And they're jumping in. They're trying to contest. 97%.
High noon.
98%. No!
Oh, it does actually manage to try and take out 2, but Dot's got 2 with the
4 kills!
Oh my god, it just absolutely rips them apart on that Bastion, and that's going to be first map going to Sirens EXE. Very, very clinical there from the side of Sirens. What can you say, Waxon? It just looked very, very good for them.
I don't know what I can say, Puppy. We were discussing just before we went live that you were predicting Exeter to come in as a stronger opponent, but were you expecting it to be that dominant?
I mean, the composition, the style in which they're playing, it's kind of very similar to what we've seen Sirens do in the past. They like to take the position over the opposing teams, and they really favour that, and utilising stuff like a Symmetra with a teleportation is perfect, really, and there's not really much that other teams are able to do about it, because they don't know how to deal with these large sort of targets like Bastion, who are just going to pump, like, shed loads of damage into your backline if you're not careful. At the moment, it's just very, very one-sided. It's exactly how we expected it to be fair. But we know we have some hopes. We have some. Let's not pump the brakes a little bit. Let's try and give the York a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. It is the first map, a bit of pre-game nerves. They've got plenty of maps to play with as well, with it being a best of 7. So, and we are going to shortly go into the next map, which is going to be Blizzard World, which is a nice little hybrid map I very much enjoy myself.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's hopefully going to allow the York College Vikings to come in with a different game plan, because definitely fighting for the points was not their strong forte, and it could be, like you said, mostly because of the comp. But I also feel like they were out-aimed at multiple points throughout those skirmishes, Poppy. Would you agree with that?
I mean, you look at the Bastion. I forgive if the name eludes me, unfortunately, but just incredible Baptiste's play. Just especially when they got the window up as well, just completely denying Ashnima that coalescence. That was a prime example of exactly that happening, to be fair. So, but we are ready for map number 2, which is going to be Blizzard World. Should be an interesting one, because we do see that Sirens are very, very good at doing everything that they need to when it comes down to positioning, and I feel like Blizzard World is another one of those sort of positioning based maps. If you're going to try and funnel yourself through the same position every single time, that main route straight towards the point, you're going to find it very, very difficult unless you have plenty to negate a lot of damage. To do so, Snipsy has switched over to a Orisa, which they are going to be mirrored by the Sirens tank Blizz as well. The story was the one that I was thinking of, who was on that Baptiste last round, just to kind of tidy that one up. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they tackle this one, because they could try and go down that left-hand side, as we know, which does give them a bit of space to be able to get round and get a bit more of a favourable position and take less damage sort of heading up, and kind of give away a less sort of percentage on those ultimates towards Sirens. Or they could just go directly straight down the middle with a teleporter and try and take the high ground. It's going to be very interesting. They've got the flexibility to be able to do so now that they've got Symmetra.
Thoughts on Prill sticking to the Bastion, Puppy? I mean, we saw them attempted a bit towards the end of the first map. I mean, the end of the first map. The first map was like a flash in the past. But they didn't really find success on the Bastion. Do you like sticking to the comfort pick, or maybe you would have wanted to see a change?
I think it's obvious when something's not quite working for them, and I think going on to a character that actually pumps out a pretty consistent damage, and has a bit of a displace as well in that right click as well. Do you see Blizz almost falling foul of that as well? It's going to be decent. Minx has kind of been forced out very early on, which means that the EMP is not going to be out very soon. Prill almost getting taken down, as we do see the push forward from Blizz with that spinning javelin is going to take out Dot, nice. And also Jaeger following it up by killing off their opposition in Blizz as well. Yeah, very, very clean from Sirens there. Sorry, not Sirens, from York.
From the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings actually coming up, well, the first time this game when they're actually leading. It's only map 2, so maybe, I make it sound way more dire than it should be. I'm not quite sure which one of the maps is the one that the Vikings won in their previous encounters. You talked about that 6-1 scoreline, but we don't have too much time to reminisce about that because the Sirens are coming in hot and they want to just halt that push from the Vikings as soon as possible.
Yeah, they want to take hold of this choke point here, as they know it's a very, very pinnacle point in the map. They have to deal with this Bastion though, and they are doing so fairly well as they take out that mobility in Lilith. They are trading it backwards and forwards though, as you do see the tank going down from Sirens. Has now got that long respawn, so it's going to be a little bit of a while before they have that sustainability, as we do see Sirens just kind of still sticking around a little bit, maybe too long, as we do see Minx and Destoria taking plenty of damage. Minx is going to get healed up, takes a javelin to the face, as we do see Snipsy now trying to take that space back off of Sirens, and a nice ultimate into the backline is going to try to take out whatever they can. A nice javelin to take out Miss Gertha is going to sort of probably set this one up very, very nicely for York College. They are going to respect the window and also pump out one of their shields of their own. A great response there from Lilith, realizing that they're going to lose Prill, and is going to try and a TP into the backline here from Minx. Got themselves in a little bit of trouble. They're going to try and take him out. Jaeger and Lilith are going to dispatch of them very, very quickly. They are still in a good position here, are York College. As we do go into this next part of the fight, no bubbles now from Blizz is going to mean that they're going to have to give up plenty of space. Can they recontest in time? No. It looks like they've taken that second point with relative ease, and it's going to take it very quickly.
You can't allow that disrespect. I think this is all starting to snowball in the favor of the Vikings, and we can see Snipsy putting in the work on this Orisa, just trying to spray around and having very much success thus far on this pick. And I'm just saying, you can't afford to do this if you're Minx. I know you're feeling confident, you've been defeating the Vikings time and time again, but that TP in the back line in a lone position, yeah, you just allowed them to pick you off easily, and now the Vikings are just pushing very, very fast. This is some great timing right now, Poppy.
Yeah, I mean, going into the third position, this third stage with 5 minutes in the time bank is a very, very good position to be in. They have got the grab now from the side of Sirens. They are going to use it, and they are going to use it alongside another ultimate as well. Coalescence coming out to try and keep them alive. Beat is there. That was the second ultimate I was referring to, and it is going to be enough to kind of sustain them through. Oh my god, Dot is so low. Has been able to take out Snipsy before they take him out themselves. So yeah, a good fight there from Sirens. Had to pump a lot into it. Beat and the Grav used very good.
Still, the ultimate available for the Bastion. Let's see if they can put it to work and get it back. They still have a great time despite losing the payload just now. But if they can get it in this next skirmish and push it all the way to the end, your College Vikings would be more than happy. But look at the spray coming through that corner. One of those choke points that you mentioned. It's very important to take control of on Blizzworld.
Ooh, takes control of the high ground with that teleporter. That's very nice. They left Snipsy on their own. Minx is going to be able to take out Prill though, and that's all the damage pretty much now gone for the side of York College, who are just going to collapse on the back of that one. The window was used towards the end, and Minx is going to try and take out right into the back line, touch the spawn doors, very, very close to taking out. I think it was it was Ashnima was able to get
Ashnima, yeah. Okay, here we go again. Lilith already down to half HP, but no, we'll recharge it very quickly. They don't manage to go past this corner. This wall is not helping them at all this current moment, and they get to contest the payload. But look at Jaeger right now, putting in the work. Very good. Prill doubling up as well.
Yeah, Prill making use of that Kitsune rush. Has got 3 kills there, 3 eliminations onto the side of the Sirens. It is a very, very good position to be in, but this is the last little bit that we see so many teams fall foul of. And it's very, very difficult to get this to the very end. Let's see if York College can do it. They're going to have to come and recontest very, very soon. 3 meters now for Sirens to be able to get this one back. And the ultimate into the backline from Snipsy. The beat does come out from Miss Gertha in response, but Blizz is still going to go down to that ultimate. And it looks very, very promising now for the side of York College. We have to focus down these targets if they're going to be able to get this one over the line. It looks like Sirens are just in kind of complete disarray at this point. They are going to try and rely on Miss Gertha to be able to keep this one alive. Not going to be able to do it. Time bank of 154 going into this defense round now for York College. That's really, really good.
I would have to agree, and I gotta commend Snipsy, Poppy, right there on that Orisa, just showing us how it's done. Like, even the initial skirmish was Snipsy coming out on top, and even just to end it with that beautiful ultimate. And like you said, almost 2 minutes. The York College Vikings, they just need to hold a little longer, and I think they might. I mean, let's see their comp first, but this is very promising. This is the most I've managed to see from them thus far when they're facing the Sirens. So let's see, can they hold off for long enough so that they convert this map into a victory?
I mean, if their defense is as good as their attack, then I think that could very well be the case. I think if they're going to hold it, they're going to have to do a good job of holding off the side of Sirens for the first point for at least a good minute.
Look at Blaze. Down that time bank. Blaze switching to the Orisa themselves as well. They wanna maybe show Snipsy how it's done, and that would be a very tough quest to go on, because like we said, Snipsy's been playing amazing since switching to this Orisa on the Blaze World. So can Blaze shine on Blaze World? That's what we want to see.
I see what you did there. Very good. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The matchup is usually sort of favors towards the Zaya, which is what Blizz was on previously. So now that they've got more of a mirror matchup, let's see exactly how they can do. As you see plenty of damage go out taken in through that first choke point, but they are going to take that right hand side, and York College are up to meet them, as we do see plenty of mitigation there from Snipsy, able to but not enough. Jaeger gets caught out towards the end of that one, needed to hold on for slightly less, and that's a big chunk of healing now down for the side of York College, as we do see the rest of the team now spilling through. Dot and Minx taking out the last remaining few, and that's it really. It's going to be first point now going for Sirens. Snips is going to be taken out very, very late into that last bit. Probably going to have a decent spawn, hopefully. Otherwise, they're going to have to look to recontest at a later point.
Taking the fight to them. Good attempt from the Vikings. They managed to buy a few seconds and deal some damage to the Sirens players. But now Minx is already at 65%, and Dystoria at 74% towards their ultimate. So that's going to be coming in very handy very soon. So we have Blizz just spamming across every corner, trying to push back the opponents already, as the Vikings are just appearing and trying to fight. It's in Orisa versus Orisa. Let's see who can come out on top.
Yeah, I really like the idea of them sort of contesting on that first point up onto the high ground, and we do see enough of that. We've got to go straight into this next fight. Ashnima is Dystoria is going to be using that Coalescence, as we do see Snipsy go into position very, very close. I think that's a 5-man there, and they are going to be able to take out Miss Gertha. That is a very, very big pick, as they do not have the speed now to be able to retreat if they wanted to. The rest of the team are kind of left scrambling for cover. Dot, though, is going to find Ashnima, a semblance of help here from them. As we do see the ultimate now committed from Minx. That wall is going to give them plenty of space to be able to take back that high ground. Dot making use of that and trying to keep the rest of York at bay, as we do see them heading towards the second point now. They are going to use the Kitsune response to this ult from Dot, and it is going to be working very, very well, as we do see Dot having to retreat very, very quickly backwards there, as they are going to now invest the Coalescence on the back of the Kitsune rush, and keeping everybody relatively high in terms of the HP. York very much pushing them back and off this point, but Sirens respecting that is meaning they're going to be able to get back into this one with plenty of ultimates to go, and they're going to double up on the support ultimates. Dot didn't get it though, and they are looking very, very low, but it doesn't matter. The entire team collapsed at York College with nothing else to be able to stand on. Ultimates all gone.
Great work from the Sirens right now, but I gotta say, I think the Vikings were just slightly faster at this point when they were pushing the payload in the first round. So let's just see. 5 minutes after the second point to go all the way to the back. Can they stop it? 154 is what the York College Vikings got, and now this is the corner where they got halted. Can they stop the Sirens themselves? But Miss Gertha just coming in with a fast kill, taking out Ashnima.
Yeah, that's painful because that's exactly like you say. You want to be able to make use of these close corners as they do just rush into the backline, realizing they can smell blood. The entirety of the team of York is going to be forced back into their cage and blocked in there with the turrets as well. So hopefully none of the squishies poke their head out if they're going to get roasted by this. It's going to be Snipsy to come out and get rid of those turrets. The rest of the team going to do so very well. They're still positioned very, very close here. Is York into the backline though? Snipsy is going to try and take out whoever they can. Nice TP out there from Minx is going to save majority of them. Lilith very, very low, and it's going to be Splizz that's going to take down first though. Could this be the hold that they need? It could well be, as we do see them now having to look to regroup.
3:45. Another 2 minutes that you need to hold them back if you're the York College Vikings. Well, ideally another 4 minutes if you really want to make this squeaky clean, but you'll take anything at this point. Any advantage would be better than nothing as we're going back into this top rail. And nice TP coming in right now from Dot in the backline again. Is he going to catch? Yes. Minx and Lilith not coming out on top again. Prill getting taken out as well, and it's 3 down for the Vikings. Only 2 standing. Snipsy, can you make anything happen? Getting lower and lower, trying to disengage, but they're getting pursued by the opponent. Meanwhile, Prill, Lilith spawning back, and Jagger, they need to come and help this, but no, the payload's getting pushed. It doesn't matter, Poppy. Valiant effort from the Vikings, but it will be 3 minutes for the Sirens.
I mean, it just came down to that TP. They just weren't expecting it, were they? Into the backline. Really, really great idea there from Minx, whoever it was that called that idea. It completely caught Vikings off guard, and they just didn't respect the fact they had that mobility from Minx, who's been playing the Symmetra this entire time and has been TPing into their faces over and over again. They have to realize that they could come from any angle at any point. They have that line of sight onto a place, they can get to it. So yeah, very, very, very clinical there from Sirens towards the end to be able to bring it to a double, nearly double the time bank of York, who now have a very tall feat to be able to get themselves back into this one. TPing backwards, a little bit of a troll there from Minx maybe, or Blizz, I'm not sure. But they are sort of relatively similar in terms of their compositions again.
I gotta also emphasize what you just said. Minx on the Symmetra has been putting in such good work thus far, whereas Lilith on the counterpart Symmetra has been considerably more quiet than Minx. It's safe to say that much.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of easy to really shine as a Symmetra with, you know, utilizing the beam, being in the front line with your team, but the real benefit from having a Symmetra is doing those exact plays that we just saw Minx do, and that really kind of makes you shine, is when you're able to kind of take space off of your opposition. They're going to take this left-hand side, which I'm very, very happy of. But let's see how they utilize the TP now to take the space. They've already taken this space, so I'd like to see them potentially not... that works. It gets them a bit closer, I guess, but it's going to get them right up into the face of Sirens, who are going to lose Blizz early on. The support line unable to get enough healing into the back of them. They are going to lose the second in Destoria as well. Means they're going to have to give them plenty of space here, as York again looking to take this one very, very quickly.
Yeah, very good York, only wasting 30 seconds or so to get the payload going, and now the Sirens.exe need to recompose and try to stop them. You don't want them to push at all, actually, because you have the time advantage, so the more you can stop them from advancing, the better it will be later on.
100% agree. Yeah, this Overwatch is not a game of eliminations. It's a game of time and time management, and it's very much got to be done very, very well. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of a time bank, and that's where York College find themselves at the moment. But doing a very, very good job of utilizing the time that they do have. Say that as Prill gets taken down. They are going to have to respawn and look to push this at a later time. But that's perfectly fine. They've got the ults in the time bank.
Ooh, Minx and Destoria
Maybe
with
not.
a nice cost at a couple of kills. And this payload hasn't been moving, Puppy. It's been over 40 seconds since the last meter it advanced. 4 seconds to go. You need to jump on it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Someone needs to go on it. And That's overtime. Okay, they managed to get there in time. But
Ooh.
Dot getting a double kill already, and they don't stop right there. They keep on dealing damage to the York College Vikings. 3 versus 5. Lilith is getting lower and lower. Symmetra gets taken out. Dot with a third.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, you just see that York just didn't really respect the fact that they could be taken out and pushed down like they were. They didn't respect Sirens again and didn't look to regroup like they so desperately needed in those dying seconds of the game. And they did have the ults to come in, but unfortunately weren't able to get there as a group and trickled in one by one. Yes, they had the coalescence and also the ult from Snipsy as well, but wasn't enough with I mean Dot with that overclock just completely domed 2 of them and just shut that one down very quickly on the back of that. There was a nice beat as well to finish it off. So yeah, I mean, very clinical from Siren so far, realizing that they have the time bank. I like this idea of building up your ultimates and getting yourself into a favored position so that you can win that kind of later on game. And it's going to have to be very much of the same from York College. They're going to have to do plenty of delaying here if they're going to have any semblance of a chance of holding off the onslaught is Sirens.exe.
3 minutes for the Sirens. Should be plenty of time actually to beat the time. I wouldn't be surprised for them to see them doing it even quicker than that, especially with the way they have been performing. But your College Vikings, this is your chance. This is the closest you have come today of winning a map. Again, it's only map 2, but I just feel like they seem to be very prepared on Blaze Worlds, so I just want to see them win what feels like has been their map pick. It might not be, because we're not quite sure of that, but they're playing very well, so they just need to do everything in their power to stop this payload right now.
That's exactly it. And with a Torbjorn as well, the teleporter unfortunately is not going to be doing much as it's only gone for a few feet. That was definitely not intended. Maybe got caught out by the little eagle ride things that go around, and the amount of times that I've been sorted out by that one is annoying. TP again, maybe not quite exactly where they wanted to put it, and Dot is going to fall foul early on. They are still pushing forward, our Sirens, but York respecting them slightly, giving them plenty of space, and very, very good job from them as we do see Frail take out Biz, and that's going to be a reset for now for Sirens.
Good start for the Vikings. Good start for the Vikings. They're building towards their ultimates. Snipsy already 50%, Jaeger at 67, and the payload's not moved yet. Not one bit. Only 2 minutes. What was a great minute advantage is down to only 2, but now the skirmish reinitiates. And let's see, Dot jumping, trying to deal some damage, and now they're trying to take the high ground.
Yeah, that high ground is so needed, to be honest, and teleport into the backline. Brill's going to be in trouble. Are they going to be able to keep them alive? Unfortunately not, Brill. Oh god, that's disaster for them, but unfortunately, oh, nice sleep there out onto Destoria, who did have that coalescence up. Jaeger, unfortunately, after that sleep, is to still go down. A nice headshots and railgun shots there from Dot to be able to take out 3. But that is a large portion of the time bank now gone, nearly 2 minutes taken off.
More than half, yeah.
Side of Sirens. So yeah, let's see what they can do.
They started with 3 minutes. They're now 1 minute 14 seconds left in the tank. Only getting to 10 meters just now. Can Snipsy and Co. halt this aggression from the Sirens? Look at the damage flying through, but it's getting negated by the supports, by the barriers, by the repositioning. Snipsy feels like it's not doing enough, although they're trying their best and they're very on point with the aim. Now more aggressive contesting. 35 meters though, I didn't even notice. Snipsy gets 2!
With that Nano Boost Terror Surge, they just managed to completely change that one around. They bided their time perfectly. Snipsy knew exactly when to initiate with the backup of Jaeger with that Nano Boost. It's just turn the tides ever so slightly, and now Sirens have to try and force this one back into their hands. They have got 4 ultimates to do it so though, 2 of which are support ultimates to be able to keep them alive. First one's being used, Astoria going to try and use that one. Then that anti-nade onto Blizz though. Oh, it's negated out by the beat there. Nice sleep out onto Miss Girther, but it's going to be very, very difficult for them to hold on. York College, I mean, what a great support lineup there from Sirens. The amazing coalescence there to start it off, antied out there by the side of York, but great beat there to try and keep Blizz alive still and keep that one going. And yeah, I mean, just very, very good from the side of from the Sirens. I don't know what to say really. It looked very, very promising. More promising than the first map, I have to say. York do like they're here to play.
So yeah, absolutely. The Vikings did everything in their power and was what 8 seconds away, 10 seconds away from keeping them away. It was a great attempt from Snipsy, and I gotta say, probably the standout player thus far in this grand finals, Puppy, for me, despite being on the receiving end of a beatdown thus far. Yeah, the Vikings are doing everything they can. If they can maybe gel slightly more together and try to match up with that beautiful team play that we see consistently from the Sirens, maybe they would have a chance to bring a few maps back, but they still have plenty of time. Only 2-0 thus far, and it's a best of 7, so if you can win the next one or even the one after that, maybe change the momentum of the series. I hope this is what they have prepared for us, because I want to see more of the Vikings.
Definitely. I mean, like we saw a really good play, a fantastic play from the side of the Vikings, who realized that they had probably only one opportunity to be able to deal with that push that was coming out from the Sirens, with Snipsy biding their time as much as they could, holding on to their micro abilities to be able to push themselves forward into a position, and also utilizing that nano onto Snipsy to get two to be able to turn the tide of that one. That was a shining example of exactly what we need from the York Vikings to be able to bring this one back into their favor. If they keep playing like that, I think we have a good game on our hands.
So do I, but we're gonna have to wait a few minutes until we go into map 3 of this grand final, as we're taking just a short break. Welcome back to the Student Champs Open Women in Esports Overwatch Best of 7 Grand Final. I am Waxen, joined by Poppy, bringing you map 3, 4, and hopefully 5, 6, and 7 between the Sirens.exe and the York College Vikings.
Yeah, if it's going to be 5, 6, and 7, then we're going to have to see a big change round from the side of York Vikings, who did show signs of promise in that last map. We did see them starting to look a little bit better in terms of their coordination. They're a bit more clinical with their kind of regroups, and it did look a lot better. So I think there is a possibility they could at least get one map. That's what I very much want to see. Which is the next map now is going to be Surabasa. So it's a very interesting map for me personally, because I've actually never casted this one. It's a Flashpoint map, and it's going to be the first time that I've ever seen it played in terms of the British esports. So first for everybody.
Yeah, we're here for a proper grand final, Puppy, and we are looking at the comps. And you know what? I love seeing that most players seem to be sticking to their true and tested guns. Snipsy with a successful Orisa. We have seen Blizz similarly replicating the Orisa. We also get Lilith and Minx sticking to their guns and going back to the Sinatra that they have been running for what feels like forever right now in this grand finals. Also the Bastion on Prill, again, various degrees of success, but we shall see how this map number 3 will commence.
Yeah, both teams opting for that Lucio as well. That speed boost is very, very crucial to be able to get yourself around about this point. Point is going to be taken early on in terms of space from Sirens. It's not unlocked yet. It'll be unlocked in 10 seconds. So York College do have time to be able to deal with the turrets. Very aptly dealt with by Snipsy, who has been very, very good on that. Symmetra, nice javelin to the back there. Dot is going to try and be pumping in. Got a nice railgun shot, and it's going straight towards Jaeger's head. A clean haircut for them. As we do see them retort now, though, with 2 kills, one onto the Orisa and also one of the healers. Snipsy now utilising the space they've got, but they're going to get their head taken off again. Doc is doing a fantastic job of keeping themselves in this one. But another 2 gone back the way of York, and all of a sudden we're down to a 2-on-1 with a Lucio Symmetra against a Symmetra of Minx. And the Orisa's been gone so long that they're coming back into the fight. Nobody's taken any space at the moment. It is up to 50% for the side of Sirens, so all this could be in vain for the side of York Vikings, who now have been dispatched.
This seems to be a walk in the park, or maybe a swim in the ocean for the Sirens that are just annihilating anything that the Vikings are trying to put up against them. Another nice attempt of fighting around the pillars and jumping into contest, getting a couple percentage in for right now are the Vikings, but look at the damage being dealt right now. Despite that, Krill managed to get the kill onto Miss. And it's kind of slowing down for both sides. I think the Sirens are just recomposing behind the corners.
Ooh, nice little head hit onto Dot as well. We do see Dot utilising the soldier really, really well throughout the entirety of the series. We're stuck with it. Alright, we have the overclock coming up as well. Very, very soon. That's so good. York have plenty of old to be able to retaliate. They are going to use the oh my god, that is plenty of ultimates. Beats both sides. Moira ults for both sides as well. Shields everywhere. It's so difficult to see exactly what's going on, but York Vikings are nice and healthy as they take down Destoria. Snipsy is going to try and sorry, not Snipsy. Liz is going to try and take out a few, but it's dispatched very, very quickly from Jaeger. And it's just a complete brawl at the moment. It's Misker going to take out Lilith on that. Lucio is just going absolutely wild at the moment. What is happening, Waxen? It's a complete cluster on this.
It's a showdown, Puppy. It's a showdown. That's what we call it. 99%, but now Dot's coming to play. Snipsy trades one, with sacrificing their life in the process, and now the OT is going to switch and start racking up percentages for the Sirens. Your College Vikings, they're waiting for each other, and they need to go now. It's going to be a make or break for the A side. Who is going to come out on top? And look at Jaeger just bouncing and bounty hopping around, but look at Prill, low HP, Lily, low HP. Blizz and Dot with a kill of their own, and now it's a 3 versus 5, 2 versus 5 as Blizz gets another one off the map. Snipsy and Ashnima, can they make anything happen? No, it doesn't matter. It's too late. First flashpoint goes in the favor of the Sirens.
Wow, I mean that was a complete brawl towards the end there, and I couldn't believe it. Just the amount of ultimates that went in it, photon barriers has made it so difficult to see anything that was going on. As we do see Minx and the rest of the team pushing forward, taking out Snipsy, who's been so crucial for the side of York College Vikings. The regroup is going to have to come out, and flashpoint unlock in. Very good timing here for Sirens.
I gotta ask you here, Puppy. Do you feel like it was a bit of a miscommunication there for the Vikings? Because we had Prill, Lilith, and Jaeger contest the first flashpoint, whereas Nipsey and Ashnima were like, no, let's just wait, give them the first flashpoint, and then we fight for the second. But then in the end, they ended up losing the fight for the second because they were separated. Potentially.
I mean, we know how hectic it can get into in comms on Overwatch. Lots of people trying to give information multiple times. It's not like your kind of other FPSs where you get all these sort of downtimes in between fights. Fights are just complete all over the place and a free-for-all most of the time, and miscommunications can happen very easy in Overwatch more than anything. As we do see now, York College trying to recontest this one, 4 ultimates on the back of them. They have to go up plenty for the side of Sirens. We do see that Coalescence used, Beach used in response for Jaeger. And they are going to use that Terror Surge now from Snipsy to try and create some space. Some space is created, definitely Blizzard is taken down, as they do have to keep going though onto this point to be able to flip it. The ultimate has been used from Prill as well to try and create more space, and do so very well. York are going to be able to flip this one in the nick of time, but they have to hold on to it now in entirety. Otherwise it's going to be a second point to Sirens.
Yeah, it had to be a now or never for the Vikings, and they do manage to come out on top just in the nick of time, as we now have. Look at the Sirens just together as a team, but it doesn't matter. Prill takes one of them out already. Miss Gerthas gets taken out before even managing to engage in this combat for the point. And look at it, nice damage flying in from the Vikings, now taking advantage of playing on top stairs, a bit of a slight high ground advantage, pushing them opponent back on top of this temple, and now having to trade long distance blows. Not the best look for the Sirens in the last couple of seconds.
Almost an early pick off there, as you do see a Javelin come through. Minx is going to use that Photon Barrier, and the Terror Surge as well has gone out. It's done plenty of damage onto the York College Vikings, but they're weathering the storm. I say that, they have just had to taken down both their DPS and also the Skirthers picked up 2 on that Lucio. What was that all about? I fought 3! What's happening? Like, Miss Gertha is just on an absolute tear at the moment, along with Dot as well, and that is going to be second point now to the Sirens all of a sudden, on the back of a fantastic play from the Sirens, more notably Miss Gertha on that Lucio.
Payback time for Miss Gertha, taken out very early in that initial skirmish for the contest, and they were like, you know what? You want to blow me up? I'm going to show you who's in charge, and they do that amazing to convert the second flashpoint, as the York College Vikings are now trailing behind 2 points. They really need to step it up right now, and they need to do it with the first team fight for the third point.
That third point is now going to be unlocked in a split second, and they don't get on them quickly. They're going to have to concede it. They have managed to get themselves onto it. A Terror Surge out from Snipsy, backed up with the Lucio ult, is going to be enough to pick up the side of Sirens. Picked up 2-3 now. Snipsy taking down 2 of them, chasing down a third. Miss Gertha is a little bit too fast for them though, as they do get the first point nicely taken down. Really, this is a kind of very similar thing as we saw in the previous map. They just bided their time, got themselves into a position, and took over that point very well.
That's what they needed. They needed to be the ones to start off with a bit of a skirmish victory. But they won a little battle, not the war, and the chivalry has arrived as the Sirens are coming in blasting.
Oh yeah, but a Photon Barrier is there to be able to deal with it, and Snipsy is going to get the better of Blizz. Dystoria also falling down as well, as we do see Sirens. They're going to respect that going to fall back. But it's only one ultimate out from the York College Vikings. Lilith using that photon barrier has just completely negated any damage they could pump through.
Nice splash damage coming in back and forth within this corner that Snipsy is holding right now, spamming away with this Orisa. 85% for the Vikings. They don't want to lose any player's life. If you could just get this point without wasting anyone's life and losing any percentage, you'd get some confidence back. But Blizz says, I don't care. I'm here. I'm contesting. I'm getting 2. And I'm taking all of you with me.
No, Ashnima, why? Ashnima have used the Coalescence into the dying end that fight there, and that means they're not going to have it for this next push. They just needed to hold on to the ultimates and have a bit of a dry fight. Losing Prill early on just meant that they should have just called a dry fight and not used any ultimates, but they have used something there. We do know that the Coalescence does come up nearly every fight anyway, so it's not a big deal, but it does mean they're not going to have it there to be able to initiate. Jaeger coming up on that beat means they are going to have a little bit of backup. That's going to be late on into this fight if it goes that long. And we do see early pickoffs in these fights are being the ones that kind of decide everything right now. Prill does have this ultimate, is going to try and use it potentially here to try and create some space. We're going to see it. We do see them rotate round towards this left-hand side to be able to try and get an angle in. Snipsy doing everything they can. The Coalescence being used out from Destoria. Nice ultimate out from Prill. Is going to do a little bit of damage, but a Terra Surge is going to come out from Prill. Snipsy is not going to be enough. Miss Gertha and Dot taking out 3 between the two of them. The Railgun Dot has just been an absolute menace on this Sojourn, and they have no answer for it at the moment. It's going to be a third point and possibly the map for the side of Sirens.
Yeah, it feels like an absolute. It feels like an absolute disaster for the York College Vikings, and maybe. Puppy, do you think it all happened because of that hot fingering the ultimate right there for the supportive side of York College Vikings? Do you think if they had that ultimate to initiate this last contest, they might have had what they needed to take over the flashpoint?
Potentially. I mean, Coalescence is a great ultimate for both pumping out damage and also obviously the crucial healing that your team needs to be able to kind of sustain through these fights. But I think overall, I mean, the execution from the side of Sirens has just been so good at kind of getting the positioning completely right when they needed to, and utilizing and kind of around their macro game has been very good as well. And I mean, you looked at Miss Gertha, Dot, both very crucial during that last map in terms of getting the damage in when it is needed. Created plenty of space for Dot to pop off that Sojourn at the moment, who has just been kind of left a little bit uncontested, I feel. So I think that's kind of a big source of damage at the moment. They're just kind of lacking from the side of the York Vikings. Yes, they do have the kind of full-on sort of tankiness and sort of push through from Snipsy, and followed up by the support line and also the Bastion pumping plenty of damage in. But it was all for naught if you're going to get your heads taken off by Dot on that Sojourn.
I gotta say, there's a few things here. Vikings are sailors, and Sirens traditionally are the ones that control the Vikings. So maybe that's something there. That's why we see the Sirens constantly managing to find the Vikings number. But at the same time, we have seen the scoreline between these two teams before. We've seen a 3-0, we've seen a 3-1. But like I said, it's not enough just today, because this is the grand finals, and the Vikings can maybe pull the reverse sweep of the century with 4 maps, as we're now moving on to what could be the final map of this grand finals. It's Esperanza. Can the Vikings make it back into this grand final? Tell us in the chat. Bring your friends and family to watch this, because it's about to go crazy.
Yeah, I think York Vikings have seen sort of signs of promise, honestly, and we know that they can do it against the Sirens. We've seen them take off a map off them before, which is more than most can do against this team. So maybe the Vikings are, a little bit of a weakness for Sirens, as they do come out with a Genji. Okay, well, let's see if they stick with that. I don't know if they're gonna, but compositions, let's not look at them at the moment, because we all know they could just be trying to troll us here. But yeah, I think York, they've got to try something slightly different if they're going to make any kind of semblance of a comeback here. And they are sticking to what they have at the moment. Jaeger switched over from that Orisa, which they've been so pinnacle on. Blizz doing the same. As we do see a Wrecking Ball for York College Vikings and a Diva now for Sirens. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one coming to this first fight, as we do see again Sirens taking position over the top of York. Wrecking Ball is going to be in its normal form, trying to just take some damage and figure out exactly what's going on. They're going to have to deal with this. Oh my god, Minx is so low, almost died, but no. Blizz is going to push forward, create some space, and Jaeger is going to go down to that one, as we do see that new ability being used there from Minx. I say new, it's the first time that we've seen it on the on stream at least. Miss Girth are going to take out Lilith, their opposition as well. Oh god, no, not it's the Widowmaker. Oh, no. Minx getting the number of Snipsy there in the backline.
I wanted to ask you if you're a believer in the comeback, Puppy, but the way the Sirens started off this fourth map, it's hard to believe in anyone else but them.
At the moment, yeah. I mean, I just noticed not only do we see a change in the composition of York College Vikings, but also the players in which are playing the different roles. Jaeger, who was the support throughout the last 3 maps, switched over to tank on that. EMP is going to come out. Minx picks up, I think that's all 5 with that one as well. They just don't have anything to be able to push it back at the moment, but it looks like they have yeah, no, they're going down. That's it. It's taken back by York College Vikings. A little bit of sign of life here from the side of York College Vikings, but is it going to be enough? That's the real question.
We'll hope so, as we see them already repositioning, trying to encounter the Sirens approaching them, taking over. But look at the damage already. Prill so low, has to fall back quickly to not just get blown to pieces. Meanwhile, Minx gets the kill onto Snipsy, and now it's going to be the double. Lilith gets taken out, and now everybody's going down. Oh my goodness, Dot with the ultimate slashing through every single thing on the map.
I mean, yeah, just a prime example of exactly how you can just use 2 ultimates to be able to get yourself back into control of this. And they do have to respect. Snipsy has to respect the fact that they have 2 big counters to them at the moment on this Widowmaker. Snipsy was actually the one that was playing the tank previously as well, so a bit of a change from them to be playing the DPS now role for the York College Vikings, but desperate times, all for desperate measures. Jaeger trying to push into the back line and try and get onto this point. Yashnima going down really early on is going to spell doom for them. Those Doc is taking out 2 now, both the Ashnima and also Snipsy on that Widowmaker, and the ultimate used, the rally used from Miss Girther is going to take out their opposition in Lilith. Jaeger going down as well, and this is it. They're going round in circles, it feels like, for York College.
This looks like a very abrupt ending to what was a very great season for both of these teams, but can York College Vikings find anything as we look at Minx spotting everybody, jumping off the high ground behind one of the opponents, getting Snipsy lower and lower. Ooh, almost 1 HP, managing to get away with their life though. Time is ticking, and it's not ticking in the favor of the Vikings right now.
Ooh, bomb coming through with that EMP as well. Snipsy does manage to take out the Storia, so they are 1 for 1 at the moment. Lilith has gone down as well. Dot is just wreaking absolute havoc in the backline though. Takes out Prill. A grab is used, but it's completely whiffed. Nobody's in it. I don't know if that was just a complete desperation attempt there, as we do see Sirens, they're pushing towards the end. Could this be the end for York College? I think it's going to be so. That's it. It's done. Dusted. It's over. The Exeter are the winners of your Winning Esports 2023-24 season. What a great season for them.
What a performance and what a statement from Sirens.exe, Poppy. Like you said, crowned the Women in Esports champions, and what a strong fashion a little under 60 minutes to win this 4-0 best of 7 grand final. Round of applause for the Sirens for what was probably one of the most dominating performances we've seen in Student Champs Overwatch history.
Yeah, I'd say is up there definitely. They looked very very good and very. It was kind of shown in the fact that York Vikings towards the end even tried something drastically different. Not only, like I say, by changing their composition, but also changing the roles in which the players are playing. And it didn't work for them, unfortunately, in this time round. I think that the Widowmaker was a nice idea, but unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Snipsy, that brief role on DPS was cut short by both a Genji and also a Sombra. God, the name eluded me just for a second. Which are two very crucial counters to the Widowmaker. So it just wasn't going to work today, unfortunately. But yeah, very well done to the side of the Sirens, who've just put on an absolute masterclass today.
You didn't believe in the Genji puppy, and the Sirens were like, no, we'll show you. We will show you. And they proved why they are the best team, winning after losing, a single map in the entire season. That's incredible. Incredible. That's nothing to take away from the Vikings' performance as well, who are also by only losing to the eventual winners. Yes, you lost to them 3 times, and if you add up the score overall, which we're not going to do, 10-1, it doesn't look that great, but you still managed to defeat every single other opponent that was put in your face, and you deserve and you're worthy of that silver medal.
Definitely, it's been a great year for York College Vikings, and nothing to take away from their achievement today. As they did, they were the only ones that could take a map off of Exeter. As you've already said, the one map that was dropped was to them. So if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be York, but it wasn't to be. Sirens doing an absolute great job by putting away a perfect season. Put to bed. Not quite perfect as they lost one map, but perfect nonetheless in terms of their matches won. So yeah, definitely say more
MVP?
deserved. Oh,
MVP puppy?
MVP, yes, definitely. MVP for me, I think it has to go to Dot.
Okay.
Just a really great showing. I mean, they played the Sojourn the entire time, pumping so much damage into the backline. It was between the Sojourn and the Lucio of Miskirtha, just purely from the entertainment factor of just popping off and just getting so many eliminations. But yeah, overall a great showing. Minx also had deserved a shout out as well for the great showing on the Symmetra. Really good photon barriers, really good teleporting into the backline, especially on Blizzard World, as we saw managed to sort of get that one. What about you, Waxon? Who's your MVP?
I was considering Minx, and I think if we would award a player for the highest peak that we've seen, I would probably go with Minx, but only for the consistency throughout this grand final. It's so hard for me to take it away from Dot, and yeah, I gotta go with Dot. Just so consistent every single time, just putting in the work. Maybe not the most flashy player on the server at any point, but definitely always that cornerstone of the Sirens. And if you have a player on your team that can perform to such a consistently high level, there's no surprise you only lost one map in the entire tournament.
Definitely, yeah. The entirety of the team deserves a strong shout out for Exeter because they looked so well gelled together, and I mean they just Sojourn and Dot wouldn't have been able to pop off if it weren't for the thanks of the rest of the team creating so much space for them.
As for us, I think that is the end of the Student Champs Open Cup for Women in Esports for Overwatch. Puppy, do you have any final words you'd like to say to the stream before we go off air?
Thank you very much to everybody, including behind the scenes today, Brad and Little Joe. Brad being our executive and Little Joe, our observer, done a wonderful job of putting this one together for us. Sorry it took so long to get here, but we are here and we hope you've enjoyed today. And follow my socials, of course.
Thank you so much, Poppy. Also, huge shout out to all of the other Overwatch casters that you have had here for the Women in Esports tournament. I think you've had Gehan, you've had Susie, you've had everybody up until this point, and obviously the one and only Poppy. A huge shout out to you as well, and the producer observer. As for us, that's it for today. I was Waxen. You can go also follow my socials over there. But that is it. We are signing out. Women in Esports, or Sirens in Esports, your 2023-2024 champions. Stay hydrated.